What's up guys? Yes, welcome back to another video with Matrix Decoded. In today's video, we will be taking a look at part 2 of dictionaries. In the last video, we talked about different ways we can manipulate dictionaries, such as .get, which retrieves information and prints it back out to the screen. Well, today we're going to be doing a mini project where they are allowed to pick something from a menu and they can interact with the dictionary. It's going to be a really cool, entertaining, and fun project, and I hope you guys will enjoy. Alright, so in the last video, we actually had an introductory to what dictionaries are, and we made a food category type of thing, a key and value pair list, where a user will enter a food they want to know and what category it fits in, like milk fits in dairy, or bread fits in grains and protein. So we kind of did stuff like that, and in today's video, we want to make this project based on a theme. And I know many of you out there actually like to video game, so we're going to be making a project based on video games. Now, not necessarily as a video gamer, but as a video game reviewer. First things first, before we get started, let's actually go ahead and make a new file. I'm just going to drag my pop-up window, and the reason why I have to drag it is because I have a 2-monitor setup, so I'm just going to file and save it as, and I'm going to go in quick access, logic capture, and my Python folder. I'm just going to save it as project 2. Alright, so now that we've opened up our file, the very first thing that we want to do is make our dictionary. It's basically like the heart of this project. Otherwise, there's no idea around it. Okay, and just to get things cleared up, we're not going to be finishing the whole entire project in this video because it's kind of hard and difficult to understand, but eventually you'll get it. So there will be a part 3 video on dictionaries. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and make the actual contents of it. So we want to name our dictionary video game review. And this is going to be equal to the different video games that we're going to be adding. Right now, we don't have any video games. We're going to actually search up the top 5 most popular. But just so we have our content sorted out so it's not that confusing, let's just go ahead and make our commas or our quotation marks. Let's name this game number 1. And then we're going to have a semicolon, number 555, 555. And the video game review, the reason why I've added the number 555, that's how many positive reviews that the game receives. And we're not going to be searching up how many positive reviews the game received. That's going to take way too much time. So we're just going to make our own number. That's the reason why there's 555. That's also very important. Okay, so now we're just going to enter a couple more times. Tab. Okay, there we go. Now let's make game number 2. Game number 2. We're going to add a colon. And we're going to make this whatever random number you want. It really doesn't matter. It's just supposed to be there. Let's make this 256 or 265. And then let's go down and tab. And we can actually just copy paste this part there, and let's just add a quotation mark. Let's make this 3. This can be 891. Oops, 891. Not 9,500. 891. There, final. Okay. And last but not least, game number 4. Game number 4. And let's make this positive reviews of, maybe it's not really that much of a popular game. So let's just make it 1, 2, 3. There, that's pretty much simple and easy. Now we actually want to move. Actually, I forgot to do this. We want to put commas, so that's all good and separated. And we want to take this bracket and put it all the way at the end because it's not in a while loop or an if statement. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually search up the video games. Okay guys, so I've opened up my Google Chrome. Now let's search up 5 most popular games. So it's already there because I previously searched it up. Okay, so number 1 we have League of Legends. Not bad. Number 2 we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. I've heard of it, many of my friends play it. Number 3 Valorant, and number 4 Minecraft. I know many of you guys probably play these games, so these are really good games we can use in our dictionaries, because if you guys do decide to make an app where you get to interact with the menu, then if you search up the most popular games which people like to play, it'll have more of an impact. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead into our program, and let's go in project 2, and we're going to replace game number 1 with League of Legends. It's not even typing. Okay. Wow. League of Legends. So the next one is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. I'm just going to put Rainbow Six Siege. It's much easier. Okay, so make game number 2 Rainbow Six Siege. And the last 2 ones are Valorant and Minecraft. So we can close that up and replace game number 3 with Valorant. And it's still not typing. Okay. It's not backspacing either. Valorant. The last one was Minecraft. And I know it said the companies they were made from, like Mojang or Ubisoft, but we're not going to be putting that since we already have our key and value pairs. Now that we have our dictionary, it's time to actually make the content and make it interactive. So the very first thing after the dictionaries, we want to make a function. And functions are really, really easy and efficient to use. They're not hard at all. So to make a function, we just write define, or def for shorter, and we want to define a function, and this function can be any name we want, sort of like a variable. So we're going to give it the most appropriate name, which is menu. We're going to put 2 brackets like that, and the reason why we don't have anything in the brackets is because we don't want to call out any different parameters. After the 2 brackets, let's put out a colon. Then we're going to make a print statement, and we're going to say choose one of the options below, and we're going to be having 5 different options because we want to give the user lots of things to explore. Okay, so we're going to say choose one of the options below, and we're going to put another colon, and we're going to put a backslash, which in my case is like a weird type of Y with 2 lines in the middle. That's because of the different font that I have, but if you use a font like Arial, it's going to appear like a normal backslash. It doesn't really matter, it's still saying backslash, but in a weird Y way. Okay, then we want to put N because that signifies a new line. And we put 1, dot, and the first option is going to be inquire reviews. This allows the user to check which game and how many reviews it has. And then we're going to put another backslash N for a new line, and we're going to make a add video game where the user can actually add their own video game with their review. Video game. And we're going to make another backslash slash N. I think you got the hang of it now. 3 dot delete video game, where if they don't like one of the video games from here, the video game reviewer, they can also delete the video game. Okay, so we can put delete video game, and we're going to make another backslash slash N, and this is going to be 4 dot update video game review, So let's say that there are lots of reviews coming in and you want to update this. You can update, let's say 555 to 865 because you got an extra 300 positive reviews. Remember, if these are the most popular games, that means a lot of people are playing it at the same time. It's sort of like Google. Lots of people are doing it at the same time, searching different stuff up. So this is a really important aspect of it. So update video game review. And our final last backslash with an N, this is going to be quit. They just want to quit the program. Okay, there. Now that we've finished this line, we just want to make a choice. And this is going to be really helpful in a few seconds. So let me just make things clear. The reason why choice is equal to input is because input is responsible for getting input from the user. Now, I want to introduce a new concept, which is really, really easy, and all it is two hashtags. Now, these hashtags, if you didn't know, make comments, so this helps other users or programmers to know what our code is doing. So let's comment this out. Now, the comments, they don't have anything to do with the code. They just help me understand what the code does easier. For example, if I want to see one part of my program and I can't find it, the option or the comment will help me know where it is. Okay, so we have option 1 from menu. Not from, option 1 from menu. I meant to say option 1 from menu. Okay, this is where choice comes in handy. We're going to make an if statement, just like we did, and we've used many if statements in many projects and in many videos. You should be pretty comfortable with it by now, and I suggest if this is your first time to my channel and your first time to this video, you check out if statements video because it will really help you understand easily more. So let's make it if choice, and remember choice is equal to input and we're calling it here. So if choice is equal to 1. Now remember 1 is inquire reviews. So right now how this is going to run, you don't need to run it or press F5. This is going to run in this way. It's going to just print nothing and it's going to say choose one of the options below, and it's going to say that whole entire print statement. So now the user, he eventually has to enter one of the numbers, which if he enters 1, it's going to be inquire reviews, 2 at video games, and so forth and so on. So we already have if choice is equal to 1, then we have to print okay, user, I have seen you chose option 1. And we're going to leave it like that and make a new print statement, say, here are the following games. And we're just going to type in the games which we got off the internet, the four most popular games. And it's going to be League of Legends. And we're not going to type in the reviews. The reviews is going to be option number 1 where they can actually enter it. So it's going to be League of Legends. And I'm just going to put RSS. I'm going to put dots in between that. Any video gamer should probably know Rainbow Six Siege. And we're going to make another one with Valorant and Minecraft. And these are PC console games, so this is not like Xbox games or any other type of console like PS4, Nintendo. This is strictly PC. And PC is also what I work on. Okay, now we want to make something called question. Question is going to be equal to an input statement. So question, and we're going to say input, and we're going to have which one of the games would you wish to inquire? Wait, but before we go ahead and check what was wrong, we still have to add our plus. All programmers make mistakes, and so did I. That's okay if you make a mistake too. It's all fine. Okay, now let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so we have our shell over here. I just dragged it, and the reason it didn't print anything, which I'm really happy about, is because we didn't call our function. Remember, menu over here. So very simply, we're just going to copy this, and outside of the function, we're going to put menu. And let's actually enter this a few times because we want it to make it look organized. Now let's print it out. Okay, so now it actually printed it out, and it says choose one of the options below. Inquire reviews, 2, add video games, 3, delete video game, 4, update video game review, and 5, quit. That's pretty nice. Now we didn't add the if statements for all of them, we only did it for one. So let's go ahead and type 1. And because in the program we said if the user choice is equal to 1 which we have entered, it will say, okay, I have seen you have chosen option 1. Good. Here are the following games: League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, and Minecraft. Which one of the games would you wish to inquire? Good. Now we can actually check which game and how many positive reviews it gets. I'm feeling like Valorant. I want to see how many positive reviews that has. The game and positive reviews, ... or drumroll please, Valorant is equal to 891 positive reviews. Wow, this is fantastic. All we gotta do is make all the rest 4 options for our video game review. Like I said, we're going to be making the rest 4 options. But I want you to remember that this is going to take way too long, at least an hour to make a video of. So I'm just going to be doing the first 2 options today, and we're going to be doing the next 3 options in the next video. And why I only chose to do 2 and 3 in the next one is because quit is really, really easy. And maybe if you don't want to add it, you can, but we can also add it. This one is optional, but for this project, I want you to add number 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so with that, let's make our second one. Add a video game. Alright, I've opened up my project number 2, and let's make another comment for this so that it's all organized. And we're going to name this option 2 for menu. Let's make M capital. Okay, good. Now we're going to make our second if statement. If choice is equal to input, and we're going to call choice here, is equal to 2 because that's a second option, just like 1, semicolon, then we're going to print, okay, I've seen you've chosen option 2. So let's copy this out. And it's really important to understand the code that you're copy pasting from anywhere. It can be from your own code or it can be from the internet. It's really important to know what it actually does. Otherwise, everything will get messed up. Okay, so I actually know what it's doing. You're just making a print statement and replacing 1 with 2. Next, what we want to do is print out the games again. The different options of the games there are, like League of Legends, RSS, Valorant, and Minecraft. And the reason why we have to do this is because they don't know which type of games there are. There are millions and millions of games in the world, and we've only added 4, right? So we want to always print out what the games are. And we're just going to copy this line again. And we're going to put it right here. Let's tab this quickly. Okay, there. And then the next line, we're going to make something called a variable. And we're going to make this variable add video game. This is equal to input. And we're going to say, before we begin, let's make D capital first. Before we begin, would you like to add a game? Add a game that has not been currently added. And now that we have done this, we're going to put our question mark because we're asking the user a question. And what we're going to do is make another variable. And this variable is going to be equal to team. And it's also the same exact thing as question. And question is equal to question. We just want to make sure our program doesn't go wrong. And we're making team just an empty quotation mark. Team is going to be used nowhere else. It might, but not really. Okay, so let's make our second if statement. And this is going to be if add video game. So the variable which is equal to the input is equal to yes, then semicolon, and put video review. Video review is going to be equal to a variable which is also going to be equal to an input statement. And we're going to say, what is your game that you want to add? And we're going to put a question mark. So basically, let's just run over what option 2 is doing if you don't understand. We're making an if statement, and we're going to call our variable choice, and if it's equal to 2, print, okay, I've seen you chosen option 2. Here are the following games, blah, 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 blah. And now we're going to add video game, which is a variable, which is also equal to an input statement, and we're going to print out, before we begin, would you like to add a game that has not been currently added? And we just have our random variable so that we make sure our program doesn't mess up. And if add video game is equal to yes, so yes is answering to the question we asked, would you like to add a game that has not been currently added? And if the user enters yes, then video review, what is your game that you want to add? And now what we also want to do is we want to make another variable. There are so many variables, and we're going to make this variable called rev. Rev is short for review. Review is going to be equal to an input statement, and inside the input statement we're going to say how many positive reviews does your game have? And we're going to put a question mark. Now we want to tell the user something really, really important. And this is good for you to know too if you already don't. We're going to say note, not note, note. We're going to say call video game review after you have finished. Perfect. And we're just going to add a space so that the user feels more comfortable to add the variable we assigned our dictionary. And we're not done yet, even though it looks like it. But now we actually have to do the work. This is going to be equal to, I just want to remove these spaces, these unnecessary spaces, and let's make the dictionary, let's print out the dictionary name, which is video game, G capital, review, and we're going to put 2 square brackets, 2 quotation marks, 2 extra brackets, but these are going to be circle brackets or curly brackets. You can call them parentheses, whatever you want. And we're going to put video review variable, which is then equal to rev. I can't find my brackets. Oh, right there. Rev. Okay, so let me just make sure and clear up what the last if statement is doing. So now we have if add video game, which is equal to yes, then print video game, and we're making an input statement. What is your game that you want to add? And we're making another input statement. We assign it to the variable rev. And we're saying how many positive reviews does your game have? Note, call video game review after you have finished. Next, in the next line, we're actually doing the main work here. So we're calling out our dictionary, which is at the top, video game review. We're calling it down here, under this if statement, and we're putting these square brackets, and we're calling out video rev. Video rev is equal to this first input statement. And let's say we add Fortnite. Fortnite is a really popular game amongst PC games, amongst the PC console, Xbox, PS5, Nintendo, everything. And we're calling it out. So let's say this is Fortnite, which we add. And Fortnite is equal to its key and value pair, which is equal to the review. So if we go up into our program and see Rainbow Six Siege, so we can already imagine the program entering Fortnite, and then once it has added Fortnite, it's also going to add its positive reviews, which is the equal symbol down here. Now that we finished, let's go ahead and run our program. So now I'm going to press F5, and we've already have done one of the options, which is option number 1. Now we're going to try out option number 2, which is add a video game. So let's go ahead and press 2, and it quietly didn't print anything. Let's go ahead and check why. Okay, so I have seen you've chosen option 2. Just want to clear up why this isn't working. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen why it wasn't working, and the reason was because I had wrong indentation. Remember, Python is really picky about how you indent it, and it's not like HTML, for instance. It's fine with how many ever indents you put. It's really picky about that, and that's sort of annoying. So it's running now, which is fine. So choose one of the options down below. Let's put 2. Now this works fine, which is good. Okay, I've seen you have chosen option 2. Here are the following teams: League of Legends, RSS, Valorant, and Minecraft. Before we begin, would you like to add a game that has not been currently added? So let's put no. Let's see what happens if I put no. It's not going to print out anything, which is fantastic. But now I want to type in yes. So let's see if that works. So I'm just going to press 2, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to add a game that has not been currently added? I'm going to put yes. Now that we added yes, what is your game that you want to add? It can be any game that you know. Just make it a game that you actually know, not some random word like blue, blue, blah, blah, like at Fortnite, for example. Fortnite. How many positive reviews does your game have? No. Call video game review after you have finished. So let's think about how many positive reviews Fortnite might have. Let's give it 1,345. Okay, so it printed out nothing, which is good. This is why we made the note in the print statement, called video game review after you have finished. So video game review. Yay, it printed out Fortnite, which is fantastic. And it even printed out how many positive reviews it got. You should be pretty proud of yourself. This was not an easy concept to learn, but the end product was really fun and fantastic. We've obviously not finished. We still have to do the next 3 options, and that, my friends, is going to be in the next video. Okay guys, that is the end for today's video. And yes, that's a Justin Bieber photo, which is not photoshopped and is in one of his music videos with an incredibly long chin. I don't know why I did that, but anyways, that's the end of today's video. Please subscribe, like the video, and share it with all of the people you know. Thanks for watching.